I've been in geospatial since 2008, started with Microsoft. Spent 8.5 years at Microsoft building a map. When Microsoft decided to leave mapping, decided not to make a map anymore, they sold that division off to Uber. I left and joined Amazon, spent 6.5 years, and just 3.5 years ago joined TomTom. I run the entire map content division at TomTom. So TomTom, basically we're a mapping company. We sell map content and location services in the automotive, enterprise, fleet and logistic, public sector. I manage the portion of the map content, everything we do to build and make a map at TomTom. When I was at Microsoft, when Microsoft decided to make a map, because all of the devices were becoming mobile, and so the operating system was heavily reliant on understanding its place in the world. So Ballmer and even Gates, because he's still active in Microsoft at the time, said we need to have a good quality map, and the maps that were available were not sufficient quality, so we started making our own map. We built the entire map of the US, which was fantastic. And we said, we'll do it better than anyone else because there's all these devices on the road. We have new ML and AI capabilities. So we'll build a better, cheaper, faster map. And in fact, we did. It was a fantastic map, but it was only a little bit better than what was out there, not like orders of magnitude better. And so when Satya took over as the CEO, we went and asked for budget to do Western Europe and Brazil. And he saw the budget we were asking for, he saw the budget we were already spending, and he quickly realized that he could take that budget and focus it on clear differentiation for Microsoft and continue to just leverage other maps that were out in the industry. And so he sold off the division to Uber. Uber picked it up to start making their own map. I didn't join Uber, I ended up joining Amazon, but I watched the geospatial industry because I said, well, there's gotta be a better way. If Microsoft doesn't see value in making a map, and we watched all of these other companies try to make a map and ultimately leave it in the enterprise space because they said, well, we got all this sensor data, we got AI capabilities, we can make a map, and then ultimately didn't succeed at doing it. I looked and said, well, there must be a better way. So I was watching the industry, and then TomTom called me and said, hey, we're thinking about this new open mapping strategy. And I said, now the enterprise, the customers are looking for open strategy. They've been trying to do it. Now an actual map making company has recognized that there needs to be an open strategy. And I did not want to watch that from the sidelines. I wanted to be a part of that kind of big change for the industry. So I joined TomTom to be a part of it 3.5 years ago, and here we are. The biggest vision is really about, TomTom has a great quote. It takes the world to map the world. And so it's no longer, with the explosion of data and the explosion of, and the cost and complexity of making a map, it's no longer viable for a single company to own the complete map and to build it. And so it takes the world to map the world means that we all have to collectively work together on a map because it's so much features, there's so much data. One company trying to do it, their map is constrained by the resources of that company, how fast that company can go and where it prioritizes putting its efforts into what features and what geographies. And that's always insufficient for any customer because it doesn't provide the level of additional expansion in the area that they want to go in. So the future of mapping is really us understanding that and collaborating on a base set of features that are now in the open and considered commoditized, where we can all enhance and build against, so that we can then add our own unique specific offerings on top of that, the things that we see differentiate that ultimately can apply our resources to. Yeah, again, it starts from this understanding of a base open map that we all can collaborate with. The reason is once you have that, it reduces the cost to obtain additional data, to conflate your proprietary data into that data, and ultimately get it ready for use for your purposes, and it's particularly for the purposes of analytics and other AI. So we all talk about, oh, the advancement of AI is going to change everything, and all this geospatial data is going to be more accessible through AI. But the reality is if your data can't be conflated into a geospatial ecosystem, creating those AI capabilities and understanding from it is blocked. And so really the advancement that we're going to see is the advancement by enabling people's data to be conflated into an ecosystem that then ultimately enables this significant growth through AI and other other capabilities. I think the first thing for anyone is to just get involved. So I would say make sure that you are understanding what's happening in particularly Overture Maps Foundation and the open data related to that. Understand what it is they're actually building, what in particularly it is that they are not building. It is not a complete map. It is just a foundation to a map that allows you to add to your data to it. So I would say get involved there first and understand it, and then understand how your data can ultimately contribute and become a part of that ecosystem. One of our most innovative advancements is happening in autonomous driving. And of course, with autonomous driving, the complexity is the vast amount of real-time sensor data that's coming in and the need of the autonomous vehicles to have a real-time understanding of the changing world. So now you're taking in a vast amount of data, having to conflate, prepare it, and then send out real-time updates against the map. And so the innovation that's happening related to the ability to perceive that information, process it, and ultimately put it back into the world and create a full kind of looped ecosystem. There's huge advancements that are happening there. Open is critically important to those innovations because it gives each of the different disparate companies a way to collaborate together. And the uniqueness that seems somewhat surprising is it also allows them to not have to share their proprietary information because they can talk openly through that open data and the IDs within the open data without necessarily having to bring and expose their proprietary data. Super innovative. It's making huge advancements. It's ultimately going to be the advancement of analytics. We haven't seen it explode yet. I think ultimately it's because first, as everyone knows in geospatial, it's super hard to understand how to take your own company's personal or your company's data and then conflate it to geospatial, to make it geospatially aware, to make it understanding demographics and other geospatial related information. But once that happens, once you're able to build those connections, these advancements in AI are ripe for taking advantage of that. So you're going to be able to get immediate insights without having to have a team of data scientists build out the analytics. You can get very quick, immediate insights on your data from a general sense. And then certainly you would still want to have data scientists, but those data scientists will then go after very specific information based on those general insights. And so that's going to be a huge explosion in the space. We're already seeing it happening in kind of private meetings. You're seeing that everybody's advancing in that capability. We're just not yet seeing it spill out into the public. So I talked a bit about Overture Maps Foundation already, and TomTom has built our entire map offering on Overture Maps Foundation. And so we have a pretty significant set of map content and location services related around navigation, addressing, search. So in the advancement we've done in Orbis, in our Orbis map, has been significant. So what we're seeing already is that the Orbis map and our metrics have, as a result of building it on top of an open map, has already exceeded all of our competitive metrics against each of the different competitors in the market. It's not in every single geography, but in most geographies, we're at or above the industry. So we're seeing that we're in a space where we can provide that offering. And then on top of that, we're continuing to advance in much further feature-rich information for autonomous driving or for other advanced analytics and fleet and logistics type of capabilities. So we're able to spend a lot more time focusing on those types of content and capabilities for our customers. A really exciting aspect of building on top of an open maps platform is now, again, remember, TomTom is probably one of the few companies that get such a tremendous amount of this sensor data. We get a large volume of all of the vehicles on the road, sensor information from them. We get sensor information from mobile devices and from other devices out there. And so we have such a vast amount of information, we can build and update the map based on reality in real time very well. And that includes things like our traffic analytics program and stuff like that. So for urban planning and stuff like that, being able to leverage some of these traffic and some of this other real-time information in their area is quite significant. And the partnership on the open side of it allows for the integration data to happen really well. I'm really looking forward to these types of events that bring private and public together so that we can talk about that there's a lot more that unites us than divides us, so to speak. We're sharing a lot of similar problems, and we have a lot of common opportunities where there's a need in the public sector. There's an ability to provide and fulfill for that need in the private sector. And it's events like this where you can come together and recognize those kind of combined needs and then network and build off of that. So this event is quite powerful in that particular way.